Transformers 4 Age of Extinction. Now, rather than break down the plot and synopsis to this movie, I'm just going to do a 5-second shitty Mark Wahlberg impression expressing how I felt about this movie. Here it goes. Hey, I think we found an Autobot.
I'm on my way, Marky Mark.
Hey there guys, how are ya? By the way, in that intro I actually broke Bumblebee's leg off. That's how intense shit got. I don't need that. So Transformers 4 Age of Extinction is director Michael Bay's latest attempt at trying to make a Transformers movie. Now let's quickly talk about director Michael Bay and previous Transformers movies. Now if you're new to my videos and you think I'm gonna hate on this movie just because Michael Bay directed it, you're completely wrong. At one time in life, I was a Michael Bay fanboy. I love movies like The Rock. I will go so far as to say I actually enjoyed the movie Armageddon. I know. So yeah, as far as big budget summertime blockbuster popcorn movies go, Michael Bay is a competent director in that genre. But much like Transformers 4 Age of Extinction, he just doesn't know when to stop. Now this newest Transformers movie is the 4th one in the franchise. Now let's talk about the other 3. Let's get rid of number 4. Oh yeah. So let's talk about the first Transformers movie. Now, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I had a good time with it. It was a great theater experience. And yes, the movie was big budgeted, bloated, and a popcorn action movie by Michael Bay, and typical in a lot of those regards. It was still a fun movie and a little bit subdued when it had to be, or at least compared to the other 3 movies. Shia LaBeouf hadn't lost his damn mind yet, and the runtime on the movie was 144 minutes. Now, Transformers 2, I remember going into this movie actually excited to see it because I liked the first movie. And after about 20 minutes of watching this movie, I was like, something's off. Something's wrong. And by the way, when this movie came out, that was during the writer's strike. So yeah, that does kind of explain some of the script issues, but it still doesn't forgive Michael Bay for his sins. And the third Transformers movie was basically the same shit we got 2 times before it, but it was a little bit longer. It came in at 154 minutes. So you see where I'm going with this? Each movie progressively gets longer without any substance whatsoever. Okay, now let's talk about Transformers 4 Age of Extinction. Now the biggest positive I can give this movie is it stars Mark Wahlberg rather than Shia LaBeouf. And I'm a huge Mark Wahlberg fan, so that instantly already makes this movie more enjoyable for me. It's not like I hate Shia LaBeouf. I mean, his character Sam Witwicky really worked in the first movie, but after the first movie, his character just grew stale, and you're just like, I don't know if I like this fidgety little kid anymore. Now, Mark Wahlberg's character in this movie plays a down-on-his-luck inventor. He's broke, he has no money, and he has to put his hot daughter through college. And by the way, the hot daughter character in this movie looks like a direct replica clone from the last chick that was in the 3rd movie. Now, let's talk a little bit more about Mark Wahlberg. Now, essentially, Mark Wahlberg is the best thing about this movie. Actor Mark Wahlberg has a screen presence about him and a likability. I just buy into the guy, and even when I don't buy into him, like especially in this movie when he's supposed to be this robotics inventor working out of his barn, but you're just like, nah, that's Mark Wahlberg. It's a Transformer. I think I can fix it. I got some spark plugs and a screwdriver. It's like, nah, I'm not buying that shit, but I still like you. And the thing about Mark Wahlberg is you can buy into this guy in an action sequence. It's like, yeah, look at that guy's arm. He looks like he can punch somebody and kick their ass. And then you look at Shia LaBeouf and it's just like, he can run away and scream. Essentially, that's what he did in the first 3 movies. But in this movie, Mark Wahlberg gets his hands dirty. Yeah, at one point he's shooting like this alien Transformers gun. And by the way, the gun's like way too small for any Transformer to use. Like it wouldn't even exist. But for some odd reason, it's there. It's just the right size for Mark Wahlberg. But you know what? I was okay with it. And much like the 3 other previous installments of this franchise, there is a MacGuffin in this movie. What is a MacGuffin? Well, it's some random bullshit that all the characters chase after, but it really doesn't matter or affect the plot in any way. And this time around, the MacGuffin's called the Seed. So yeah, as far as the plot of this movie goes, it was the most convoluted, messiest one of the franchise so far. This is a 165-minute long Transformers movie. Does it need to be that long? No. Does the plot require it to be that long? No. Did they fill that runtime up with substance of any kind? Not really. This movie could have ended easily 45 minutes before it did. Now, I know it sounds like I'm ranting about this movie, and don't get me wrong, there was moments in this movie I rather enjoyed. The first hour or so I kind of liked. There's some action sequences in the middle of the movie, but had they ended the movie when they should have, maybe around the 2-hour mark, this would have been a better, more enjoyable movie. But what do? Just keep going and going on with it to the point where it gets exhausting. Now, don't get me wrong, I like big action sequences. I like looking at the Transformers blow up shit, but when the movie should have been over an hour ago and they just keep continuing on with it, it becomes exhausting and it makes me hate what I'm seeing up on the screen. And I don't want to hate Dinobots, but this movie almost made me do it. But by the way, the Dinobot scenes with Optimus riding Gridlock, yeah, it was pretty badass. And one more badass thing about this movie was the character Lockdown. Now, he's technically not a Decepticon or an Autobot in this movie, he's more so a mercenary. Yeah, I like the character Lockdown in this movie because he's a tactical badass, and he also has a huge gun on his chest, kind of like Megatron was supposed to have but never did. He turned into a jet. and then a semi-truck, but yeah, we get a big gun finally. Now, since this is a big budget CGI Transformers movie, we have to talk about the effects in the movie. Yeah, at times in this movie, it really works. You're like, yeah, that looks like Transformers fighting up on the big screen. And look over there, there's Mark Wahlberg. Hey, what are you guys doing over there?
We're fighting!
That's Mark Wahlberg and Optimus having a conversation. Okay. But at other times throughout this movie, you could tell that the budget was kind of running a little bit thin and they didn't have enough time to finish it off. So they're like, yeah, it doesn't look very good. Throw some CGI smoke elements in front of it. And that's what it looked like they did a lot of times in this movie. When something wasn't quite polished, what they did is they added some shaky cam to it, a little bit of digital smoke, maybe an explosion over there. So Transformers 4. Is it the same bullshit we've already gotten 3 other times? Absolutely. Is it watchable? Kind of. At times it makes you a little bit nauseous. Your brain's gonna turn into mashed potatoes by the end of the movie. But you know what? If it was a rainy day and I broke all the bones in my body and I was laying on my couch and I couldn't move and it came on TV, I'd probably watch it. Now, keep in mind, I can't move. No one's home. I'm wearing a diaper right now. I would probably watch the movie, but I wouldn't like it.
I give this movie a C for mediocrity.
So guys, that's my take on the new Transformers movie. Now here's my question to you, and let me know down below, what did you think about the movie, or what is your favorite Michael Bay movie and least favorite Michael Bay movie? Let me know down below in the comments. And by the way, before I go, if you guys noticed in this video, this badass Captain America t-shirt, look at this thing. It just makes you feel like a patriot. Yeah, this thing comes from the clothing company Jack of All Trades. I'll put a link to the website down below in the description. Definitely check it out. Really cool t-shirts, comic book things. I got another Batman one from them. I really like it. It's my 28th Batman t-shirt. But either way, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.